Hello, this is Will from JourneyWallStreet.blogspot.com, and I'm here to do the trade reviews for trades made on June 14th, 2012. So as you can see by my screenshot here, I had a pretty nice day. This is an above average day for me, and again, very low volume. I only did 4,000 shares today, and whatever I'm doing, I like, and I'm doing something right. I'm not taking as many trades. I'm have a much lower volume, but it's all about quality versus quantity. And as I said in the blog post, I haven't taken a C trade all week, so there's still one more day, so I might end up doing that tomorrow. But let's just go straight to the trades. So one of the first trades I was in IGT. It was definitely in play, gapped up in the pre-market, and had a very nice uptrend here. I did not get involved in any of that, but once it had this pullback, I got involved near the EMA down there. I stretched it out a little, so I got involved near that bounce of the EMA, and my plan was to kind of add if it breaks the high here of this red candle. Was my entry candle, and it sort of got close. Right here, it ticked as high as 68. The high was about 68, so I had a trigger for 69. But as you can see, I was stopped out for a loss, and I used the bottom of this green candle as my out, because I didn't really want to use the high of this candle to get into a bigger position, since I pretty much bought at that candle. It doesn't make sense to buy at 61 and then buy some more at 63. So I was already sized in, and I wanted to use this previous candle as a trigger to get even longer. But got stopped out and it did not work. So I watched as it bounced off the 21 EMAs and kind of made some inside bars here, right here and right here. But I didn't take those trades because I wanted to get away from using inside bars as my entry. And plus, it was just bouncing off the 8 and out of the 21. I wanted to see if the 8 would hold again, and that's what I sort of did when I saw this bottoming tail on this candle. So my plan here was to wait to see if the 21 if the 8 would hold, and then I would get into about a retracement of this candle somewhere near the the body of the candle, and then my stop would be below. So in this situation, I also did not want to add on the break, because I was positioned right off of here, so I didn't want to do that just yet. And it started to work out pretty well. It got above 70. 70 was kind of holding it down, and came right back down, and it just kept doing its thing. And then finally, it started to kind of pull back into the EMAs again. And this time, I wanted to add. So I bought some more, around 68s, and I moved my stop up to about break even for the average price of these lots, below these wicks here, this wick and this wick. I wanted to get bigger because I thought it would be able to test the highs of the day. Unfortunately, it stopped me out, and it bounced off to 21, and then the market did your rip your face rally, and it did eventually hit my what I thought would have been my target, which is pretty much at the high of the day. But I didn't get involved here or here. Although if I was watching it, this these would have been really nice entries. If you were to get in here, then your stop would be down there, and this thing wouldn't even have been close to stopping you out, and you can pretty much ride the EMAs the rest of the way. But I gave this a try. It didn't work. I only lost tier one. I gave this a try. It worked. When it came here to add, I made a little bit on this subsequent trade, but wasn't much. Maybe like $4. So that was that. My next trade and my best trade was an FDO. So it was very high on the in-play list right off the open, and I looked at it as a pullback play. So you see how this nice kind of got away from the EMAs and then came closer. And if you notice, first thing here is inside bar, and the fact that it bounced through the EMAs and came up with a tail, did it again and did it again, and each time it did it, it did not make a newer low. So this one, the low was 12. Here's a low 14. Here's a low 14. Had it made a new low, then I may not have got it into the play, but because I in my mind I already had a idea that I wanted to buy into this tail, and my stop would have been set below this little wick. So I was already sized for tier 1 position right here, around the 16 cents. And then as soon as it broke above through this inside bar, which is also the pullback break and the entry bar, I got bigger up here. So this got me into it was about a tier 2.5 size position. First I got into one tier, and then first I got into, I think, tier and a half here, and then here I got into another tier. So it worked out really well. I took trades on the way up, about right here, kind of in this last consolidation area, and then I took more into the high of the day, and also took some once it broke below, and also got flat once it broke below this red candle here, because at some point it was going to catch up to the EMAs, but I can just get in again later versus holding it through here. So that was the trade, and they had a lot going for it. I mean, EMAs on the daily were stretched out. It was above, gapped up above previous resistance, making new 52-week highs. All the time frames lined up very nicely on this move. 30-minute, look at the EMAs very nicely, and everything about this was a plus trade. A 13-minute could have been like a pullback play on a 13-minute as well, and another thing is I had my fib extensions, and this is how I came up with my target. This and this, and as you can see, it very nicely hit the fib extension right here at 74.40, and once I got that price, I just set my stop for the rest. So it was a pretty easy trade, and I wasn't sized correctly. I think I could have been bigger, because if I add everything together, all the longer time frames, the fact that it was in play, the fact that it's above prior resistance, the fact that it was a 52-week high, all that adds up to this being an A+ trade. Had I known that, maybe I would have gotten bigger down here, maybe a tier 2 down here, and I'll be in a tier 3 or tier 4 on this break, and that would have made quite a bit of difference in my P&L. but it wouldn't have changed the way I traded it, which is the biggest thing, right? Because you want to be able to make all these plays comfortably. You don't want to be too big in a play and then react to the size you're in and not the trade you are in. So had I been bigger, it would have been the same thing. Stop would have been below that wick, and the entry would have been the ad would have been above this inside bar, and the sell would have been, my target would have been the same, which was around 74.40 because of the Fibonacci retracements. And had I been wrong here, okay, fine, I lose a tier 2 or tier 1-ish or tier 2-ish position, and I never make this trade. So a lot of things lined up, and although I did position myself better than the days I had before, it still wasn't as well as it could be. So that's really it. I mean, 2 simple trades. There was other opportunities out there that I kind of saw. Macy's, I think, was one of them when it kind of pulled back here and here, but ultimately it failed. Actually, FDO had some opportunities for the short side as well. Once it broke lower, it was clearly using the EMAs as resistance. Here's a little pullback inside bar play. Here's another one, kind of, and it sort of worked, but everything broke out towards the end once that happened. So I really starting to like the strategy, and it's been working very well this week. Again, there's no earnings coming up, no real big news in the after hours that I noticed. So tomorrow will be another trade ideas in play, whatever has the highest volume buzz day. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.